How is it going, everyone? Welcome to the history of the Clark's Wallabee. Clark's was founded in 1825 by two brothers, Cyrus and James, in Somerset, England. The company started out by creating rugs out of sheepskins, but in 1828, James began using the scraps from the rugs to produce slippers, known shortly after as Brown Peters or Brown Petersburg, according to my sources. And those were the first Clark's shoes. Their biggest moment came in 1950 when Nathan Clark, the great-grandson of founder James Clark, designed the Desert Boot. This design was inspired by the boots found in the markets in Cairo, the bazaars, and worn by British Army officers. The simple suede ankle boots instantly took off and are still popular today. But we're here to talk about the Wallabee, a moccasin shoe first introduced by Clark's in 1967. Did you know the Wallabee was actually based on a shoe designed by a German company that goes by the name of Sioux, like Sioux Indians, and it was called the Grasshopper? It was released 3 years earlier in 1964. Clark struck a deal with Sioux, allowing for their version of the shoe to be made in Ireland at the Padmore and Barnes factory, which Clark's had acquired in 1963 and continued to operate until its closure in 1987. The shoe wasn't an immediate hit in its home country, but had more success once it was brought to the United States in 1968. As general manager of the new factory, Patty Roberts took the shoe to New York, where he quickly realized that the trademark for the name Grasshopper had already been taken. So in conjunction with several other Clark's employees, Roberts trademarked the name Wallabee, and the rest is history. Fun fact, you can still purchase the Sioux Grasshopper and a Padmore and Barnes P204 version of this moccasin if you do love this look and you want to mix it up and compare the different brands. The Wallabee is now made by Clark's in-house, but it still has its original two-piece leather or suede construction with two eyelets and distinctive wedged crepe sole. What is crepe, you may ask? Crepe is a natural material that's predominantly made from latex tapped from trees. The raw latex is then coagulated to form a semi-solid substance and then crushed, pressed, and rolled into sheets using a series of machines. Those sheets are then sent to manufacturers like Clark's to be cut and made into soles. From my personal experience in the late 70s and early 80s, the Wallabee, the Grasshopper, and all the knockoffs of those shoes could be found at pretty much any family-style shoe store that wasn't just selling athletic sneakers. So they were very popular. I remember owning a pair. I think they were knockoffs. My dad having a pair, people in my family wearing them. So you'd see them pretty often around here. Besides being worn by the average American in the 70s and 80s, they became popular with the rude boys of Jamaica who already loved the Desert Boot and the burgeoning hip-hop scene in New York. Probably because there was a lot of Jamaicans living in New York. This influence would last into the 90s until Wu-Tang debuted, and that made a huge cultural impact. Out of that crew, Ghostface and Raekwon were the biggest preachers of the Wallabee gospel, and we were all converts. That movement breathed new life into the shoe, and those reverberations are still being felt today. The crepe sole and square toe is what makes this shoe what it is. It's a versatile, comfortable shoe that can be dressed up or worn in the streets. These attributes are what has kept this thing around decade after decade, and it will always have its place in footwear culture. The Wallabee comes in a few different variations, including the ankle height boot, in leather and suede, and there's a lot of color options usually if you go the suede route. They do offer different materials and collaborations at times, but just the regular suede lower one, the low top, the regular Wallabee, that's the go-to for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this look at the Clark's Wallabee history. Till next time, peace.